Okay, so it's day 6 of the Renewable Energy Unit. We're looking at some of the barriers now as to why we don't use renewable energy for everything. Okay, yesterday we highlighted the importance of energy and why we need energy and electricity in particular for our day-to-day activities, and what would happen if we didn't have electricity. So now we're thinking about, well, if electricity is so important and renewable energy is super important, why don't we just all move over to renewable energy and save the planet? So we're going to have a little bit of a look at why that's a bit more complicated than that. So as we've explained before, clean and renewable energy is something that is very important. In fact, it's so important, it's one of the SDGs, okay? So one of the Sustainable Development Goals. Now, underneath that goal of to have clean, renewable energy for all, there are a bunch of targets. Now, those targets underneath that goal, within Goal 7, are indicators of some of the challenges we're going to have. Okay, so the targets are give us far more detail of why, what we need to do in order to get towards that clean energy goal and that renewable energy goal. Okay, so if you have a click through on this link here, you can see what the targets are on the website. Okay, and this is a great way for us to see how data is being used in action as well. Okay, so if we go down here, we can see, right, these are the separate targets that we have here. Okay, so promote access to research and technology and investment. So we're thinking about finance here. Double improvement of energy efficiency. So we're thinking about how good actually is our energy systems. How well do they work? Energy systems for developing countries. So that's countries that aren't as financially well off as places like Singapore. Okay, so you're going to have a look here and just kind of familiarize yourself with some of the targets and things like that. All right, and then what you're going to do is you're going to take a selfie and put yourself on this line as to where you think you need to be in relation to this statement. Our energy consumption is a global concern. Okay, so we're thinking about our energy consumption, your individual energy consumption. Is that a global concern, and how does that relate? Okay, so let's take a selfie and put your opinion on this spectrum here. Perhaps open a text box next to it and explain kind of why you think that. Do you strongly agree that your energy consumption is a global concern, or do you think, well, actually no, I don't think it is? All right, so you can have a decision along here, and a little bit of an explanation would be really helpful. Right, then on here, there's a really cool article which Miss Beth sent me, which is about Singapore's move to clean energy, in particular solar energy, that renewable option that they have here in Singapore. And so we're thinking about how, even though Singapore is land poor, what they're doing in order to kind of overcome that challenge. So have a click on here, and then what are some of the barriers making this difficult to achieve? Okay, so what are some of the barriers, meaning why can't all countries just do this? Right. Then next, you're going to have a look at one of these questions that interests you and takes you off to another article. Okay, so and in these articles, they all use data. So we can start to have a look at how maths is being used in order to communicate information. So choose one of these questions below and just explore it, have a read, take some notes, okay? You don't really need to action anything here, but we do want you to go in depth and understand one of these questions. Of course, you can do more than one. If you want to do if a number of them come up in your thinking, then feel free to click through, but do a minimum of one, all right? So why do most countries still primarily use fossil fuels? Might be a good one. I think I would start there. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to return to our compass model, okay? And in this particular compass model, what we're going to do is we're looking at benefits and challenges, okay? So what are some of the benefits and challenges for moving to renewable energy? Okay, I've given you some examples here. So for example, I might put benefit is less carbon in the atmosphere, which means that climate change should slow down and the polar ice cap should refreeze, okay? What's the challenge? Is there enough sun in every country to use solar, for example? I've also included an extension at the bottom where you can add in relevant SDGs from across the whole SDG spectrum that you think are related to affordable and clean energy. Okay, so you might use life on land, climate action, something like that. Okay, so if you want to extend your thinking, click through here, and then you can put in some of the SDGs